Welcome to Activations with JJ Ascension Message. In this episode, I'll be talking about how embodiment can accelerate our vibrational changes, as well as this season of deprogramming that we are just entering. Welcome, my friends. I'm so happy to have you along on this ride for me. This week's Ascension message came through loud and clear by Spirit before I have transmitted it to you. I'm a little bit in transition myself as I am moving, and so my studio may sound a little different to you today, but I'm happy to be here nonetheless. I knew I had to get this out as it was time sensitive. Speaking of time sensitive, I do have a few little things that I want to drop in and mention before I head into our message for this week. We are approaching an incredible time as we get closer and closer to our summer solstice. For those of you who are in the Southern Hemisphere, I know it's not the same for you, but nonetheless, you can tap into the energy of those of us experiencing the summer solstice. One of the reasons why that has been so important for me this particular year has to do with my new discovery of the divine solar feminine energy, and all of the information about that can be found in my Ascension School episodes 18 and 19. I've been talking a lot about tapping into these goddess energies, and I have a few different offerings coming up. Some will be individual sessions and some will be at gatherings, but I am excited to offer, in addition to those two things, recordings, so you don't have to be present for them. I will send you a special personalized goddess activation recording. All of those things can be accessed in the link below. Just click on there and you'll know all the different things that are happening if you feel drawn to do them. Just a few days after the goddess activation events, we have our Lemurian Sisterhood of the Rose gathering on the 26th of June. All of this is intertwined and interrelated. The themes of the rose and the solar feminine have been coming up over and over again in individual sessions I've been holding lately. So I know that this is an important thing that is coming forth on the planet right now, or at least coming into our awareness right now. So I would love to have you join me for that. Lastly, I will be offering a multidimensional soul integration cohort starting on June 26th. If you have felt drawn to do soul integration with me, I do want to let you know, I feel like this will be the last one for a while, so you may want to hop in and join us. The link to that is below as well. I do offer the opportunity for you to sit down with me and ask any questions you might have about soul integration, what it involves, and any other burning questions that you might have. So I would love to chat with you more about it. All of that info, again, is on my website. The link to that page is in the comment section to this podcast or video, depending on how you are listening to me right now. Speaking of my podcast and my videos, for those of you who are only following me on Spotify or Apple Podcasts, there is much more content on my YouTube channel. And also, if you're not following me on TikTok or Instagram, I give you little daily doses of light language there. Light language activations and information I've channeled drops in almost every single day. So please take a minute to follow me there and subscribe to my YouTube channel if you have not already taken a moment to do that. I totally appreciate that kind of an energy exchange. It means so much to me to know that you are co-creating with me. I can feel your love. I can feel your support. And it's always wonderful when I sit down to record these, because I've talked to you, many of you guys, about this before, but I can actually feel you in the future listening to it and receiving it. And it's such a beautiful thing to experience. Okay, transitioning into the messages for today. I have two, and I mentioned them at the very, very beginning. The first one is based on a story, an experience that I recently had. So I was talking with a friend, and they were looking for a new job, and they had applied for a job that seemed to be ideal. They even went in for a test run of this position. They were paid, but they were being told that they were being evaluated based on their performance those couple of days, and everything went really, really well. Everything went great. They seemed to be passing with flying colors on all of the tasks that they were being asked to do. Well, a day or two passed and they were going to be offered the job. But they called me up and they said, "Oh, something weird happened. I know that I really was excited about this job, but all of a sudden I've kind of got a stomach ache and I just don't feel good and something's weird. Something feels off." And I said, "Well, you know what? I know that this job seems ideal. I don't know if there were any little red flags." And they said, "Yeah, there was one little red flag." And I said, "Well, your body is probably sending you a message." And I felt literally drawn by this person's kind of guides that I felt a little bit connected to let them know that it was important for them to listen to their body, that their body would tell them the thing to do. So many people come to me with questions about what to do or what not to do, especially with specific choices like jobs, relationships, or places they need to move. And I have been feeling guided to tell people to trust themselves. And then people say, "Well, I don't know how to do that." I don't know. I feel like there's lots going on in my mind. And if you can't get an answer from your mind, then shift into your body. My friends, this is why so many people right now are talking about embodiment. I've talked about it. I follow lots of Instagram accounts that talk about it. Being embodied is so key to our ascension right now. I said a couple of episodes ago that our embodiment and being more embodied will accelerate our ascension path and our ascension journey because we bring the body with us and the body helps us. So that's one little theme that's coming up for me is this: pay attention to the signs that your body is sending you. Pay attention to the ways that your body is talking to you. Even myself, personally, over the last couple of days, something really interesting has been happening. About 2 or 3 in the afternoon, each of the days, yesterday and today, I've been feeling little waves of nausea. And it's not that I've eaten anything, and it's not that I'm hungry, and it's not that I'm doing something really out of the norm, but I can tell it's an energetic signal being sent to me by my body. So I've been tapping in and saying, "What do you need?" Sometimes my body just says, "You just need to sit down and chill." You need to rest. You need to sit. You need to absorb. You need to integrate. So that's my invitation to you, my friends. Listen to your body. Honor your body. One of the reasons why we've been told to embody so much more and connect with the body so much more is because our body is a key to ascension, a key to ascension. That's actually something that came to me in our psychic activation workshop this past week. And for those of you who haven't had a chance to join us for any of those, I will be selling recordings of those workshops on my website soon. I'm kind of opening a shop where you can join the gatherings after the fact through the recordings, but there is another psychic activation workshop. My last one is coming up on the 26th of June. I would love to have you join me for that as well. But coming back to what I said, I felt drawn in that workshop to mention to people that one of the reasons why our psychic gifts are not as enhanced as we want them to be right now is because we are having a little bit of a disconnect between our energetic bodies and our physical bodies. And the more we can pull ourselves into our body and connect with our body rather than run away from our bodies, which is what I personally did for over 40 years because I was an empath and that's how I used to cope. I don't know if any of you out there can relate, but I know that since I have been connecting more with my body, I've actually felt less anxious, and obviously more grounded, right? Because we're connecting to our root, we're connecting to our bodies. So that's just a little piece of advice and a theme that is coming up for this particular time period. Now, I am recording this on the night of the supermoon that is happening, and I will probably publish it the day after the supermoon. Will it still be happening? And I feel like we are headed into a very unique period of time. I'm not always feeling like every week there's something really significant happening. I mean, there's really cool stuff happening all the time for a lot of people, but I don't always tap into like any collective big stuff, except the last one was this eclipse season. Well, interestingly enough, this supermoon signals the end of the eclipse season. All right. This is the finish line for the eclipse season. And what I have felt guided to drop in today is to let you know that spirit and our higher selves and our guides are inviting us to disconnect from some of the content that we're listening to and reading right now. Like, we have access to immense amounts of information at our fingertips through the internet, through social media. And I know a lot of you on a spiritual journey are using that as a way to feel connected and a way to learn. And that's not a bad thing. But I do want to tell you that Spirit has been saying to me, just be more intentional with what you consume. And one of the reasons why is because there is a lot of latent programming and subtle programming in the content we're consuming. And it's not malicious. It's not because there's some kind of evil design. I mean, some of you may feel that way, but in my mind, I'm like, well, for heaven's sakes, it's been in the DNA for thousands and thousands of years. Like, their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents and their parents kept passing it on, and that's where we are. We've ended up here. We've ended up embracing a lot of this programming, or at least genetically having it programmed into us. So here we are in this new phase, and I feel like one of the themes here as we approach the middle of June is to disconnect from consuming so much information, whether it's books, websites, social media accounts, people's YouTube videos, even mine, because I feel like Spirit is wanting us to spend more time with our own thoughts, turning inward in order to receive information that is new and not attached to any programming. I honestly have not felt drawn to listen to hardly any other podcasts or read any other books for a few months. And I even asked Spirit, because I love being a student, you guys. I love it. It's not because I don't want to, but I haven't had that real drive to do it. And I'm like, this is so weird. Like, this is the first time in my life that I haven't felt like I want to just pour over a book and read new things and learn new things. It's like I'm at a standstill. And Spirit says, you are going through a time of deep deprogramming. And in order for us to do a thorough job, we need you to take a small break for a few months from the things that you normally consume so that we can reset some things. Now, you can go back and consume all that later, but you need to do it from a new framework. And the new framework will be the new programs that are running for the new earth, as you are receiving lots of energetic upgrades all the time. I know a lot of you have been experiencing that too. So this has to do with that. This has to do with what you're feeling in your dreams, how you're feeling upgrades coming and washing over you continually. This little unplugging from all kinds of content is totally intertwined with that. So that's the second theme I want to drop in. Those are the only two I have this week. But I honestly just want to invite you to think about them, see if any of that resonates with you. And then as you're consuming content, remembering what I said in the June monthly energy update about the fact that one of the quickest ways for us to change is through non-traditional knowledge and information coming through as light language, sound healing, dancing, nature, all of those kinds of things. Even just watching a bird fly through the sky can be a way to connect with spirit and deprogram a little bit more. Some of the most basic things can invite the most extreme changes if we allow them to. Okay, my friends, this is it for this episode. I am extremely grateful to you for the way that you co-create with me, and I want to let you know that I'm sending you so much love. I know a lot of you are going through it right now. I can feel it. A lot of intense stuff going on. I'm continually sending you healing vibes. I'm continually sending you love. And I honor the divine being that you are. Until next time.